Alfred Hamer, who is listed on the Knighton War Memorial, enlisted in the Royal Flying Corps on the 2nd of December 1915. Alfred was from a prominent family who owned a wholesale grocery business. He ran 3 cinemas on his own account. He was also known for racing around the lanes of Radnorshire on one of his motorbikes or in his Model T Ford car. April 1917 would go down in the history books of the Royal Flying Corps as Bloody April. There could be no better title. The squadron's first sortie into enemy territory on the 4th of April 1917 was deemed a great success, when 6 of the 7 bombers dispatched dropped their bombs on enemy targets. The planes would each carry 10 20-pound bombs. On the 8th of April 1917, after barely a month in France, Alfred and his observer, John Adrian Mayburn, a South African, set out as part of a formation of 4 aircraft to bomb a chateau at Hardenpont near Mons. As they crossed into enemy territory, one of their number turned back with engine trouble, leaving Alfred and the other 2 planes to complete the mission. They dropped their bombs on target and headed for home. Almost immediately they were set upon by a large formation of German aircraft. In fact, the flight of 3 aircraft were caught by 30 hostile aircraft. Alfred and Mayburn were the only aircraft to escape this interception. Despite being severely damaged and both pilot and observer fatally wounded, Alfred managed to get his aircraft home, only to lose consciousness when attempting to land and suffer further injuries in the ensuing crash. He never regained consciousness and died later that day in a New Zealand stationary hospital. His observer died 2 days later, after imparting valuable information about an unknown German airfield. They are both buried at St. Pierre Cemetery, Amiens in France, and Alfred is remembered in Knighton. The aircraft that Alfred Hamer outran belonged to Germany's most infamous fighter wing, Jaster 11, otherwise known as Richthofen's Flying Circus, commanded by Manfred von Richthofen, otherwise known as the Red Baron. His commanding officer, in describing Alfred's attempts to fly home in his badly injured state, wrote that it was one of the finest acts of endurance I have heard of in this entire war. Alfred's short time in France, his life and his death struggle in a dogfight, and his heroic attempt to get home, immortalised the Royal Flying Corps on the Western Front.